The fight between Terence "Bud" Crawford and Canelo Alvarez was one of those rare nights in boxing that instantly sparked debate, analysis, and strong opinions from legends, fighters, trainers, and fans alike. What unfolded inside the ring was more than just a contest between two elite champions. It became a measuring stick for greatness, a turning point in narratives, and a reminder that styles still make fights. In the aftermath of the bout, nearly every notable figure in the boxing community weighed in, and the reactions tell the story of how significant this clash truly was. Even before the dust settled, discussions immediately turned to how Canelo has historically fared against certain kinds of fighters. Some critics bluntly pointed out that Canelo has never looked comfortable when facing a pure boxer with speed, footwork, and sharp timing. Comments circulated questioning his physical preparation, with whispers about whether his body still had the same explosiveness and whether long-standing suspicions about performance enhancement played into his legacy. One argument was simple: Canelo always seems to struggle when he is across from someone who can box and take a punch. Against Crawford, that old truth resurfaced. Observers claimed that anyone who understands boxing knew this would be a hard fight for Canelo because when his opponent combines technical skills with durability, it takes away the one-sided dominance that Canelo often enjoys. Terence Crawford, despite being out of the ring for over a year, showed no signs of rust. His unanimous decision win over Canelo was not just about landing more punches, it was about controlling the entire flow of the fight. Teddy Atlas, veteran trainer and commentator, summarized it with colorful imagery by asking aloud whether Crawford had been born in a laboratory. What he meant was that Crawford's mixture of skill, composure, adaptability, and intelligence seemed almost too perfect to be real. Atlas compared this fight to Canelo's earlier defeat at the hands of Floyd Mayweather, pointing out that once again, Canelo was neutralized by quicker, sharper opposition. The loss underscored weaknesses in Canelo's footwork and hand speed, flaws that Crawford magnified. Floyd Mayweather himself was quick to react. Always one to protect his own legacy while stirring conversation, Mayweather mocked Canelo after the defeat. He insisted that Canelo had been overrated for years and was never truly the fighter people made him out to be. He also revealed that he had full confidence in Crawford before the fight, backing up his belief with a hefty wager. Reports spread online showing a betting receipt that Mayweather had placed $50,000 on Crawford to win. His faith paid off, as the result not only boosted his ego, but also his wallet. For Mayweather, this was validation that his eye for boxing talent and his ability to forecast matchups remained sharp. Canelo, however, did not carry himself like a beaten man. In the post-fight press conference, he spoke with respect toward Crawford, calling him a great fighter who earned the victory. He expressed disappointment, but he did not sound like someone ready to walk away from the sport. Instead, he emphasized his love for boxing, his willingness to continue taking risks, and his readiness to step back into the ring against Crawford if the opportunity arose again. His words reflected pride in his career and determination to keep fighting. "I already did a lot in boxing. My legacy is there. I still take risks because I love boxing," he explained, making it clear that he still felt strong physically and mentally. When asked if he was still the same Canelo that fans have known for years, he replied confidently that he felt the same and would continue competing. Ryan Garcia, always active on social media, gave his take by praising Crawford to the highest degree. He tweeted that he actually believed Crawford might be the best fighter of all time. For Garcia, what Crawford displayed in the ring was evidence of rare greatness. He went on to explain that seeing Crawford dominate in this way placed him in a legendary category. According to Garcia, performances like this only come around a few times in boxing history, and Crawford just delivered one of them. The fight's official result was quickly shared by sports journalist Ariel Helwani, who posted the unanimous decision scorecards: 116-112, 115-113, and 115-113 in favor of Crawford. Although some felt the fight was wider in Crawford's favor, the decision reflected the judges' view that he was the consistent winner across the rounds. The numbers highlighted Crawford's superior control, even if the scores looked close. For many, Helwani's tweet cemented that history had just been made, a smaller man moving up in weight to outclass one of boxing's most famous champions. Teofimo Lopez also weighed in, showing admiration for Crawford's performance. He recognized the significance of the fight by noting that it brought together two of the best fighters in the world, and in his opinion, the right man won. Lopez went further, suggesting that Crawford now belonged in the top 10 of all-time great fighters. For Lopez, Crawford's style, composure, and flawless execution placed him on a pedestal above most modern fighters, proving that he was carving out a legacy that could stand the test of time. One of the most eye-catching moments came when Canelo himself compared Crawford to Mayweather. Asked to contrast his experiences with both champions, Canelo stunned listeners by stating that Crawford impressed him more, especially in the championship rounds where focus and sharpness matter most. His exact words were, "I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather." This bold declaration immediately set off debates across boxing circles. While many questioned whether Canelo was simply being gracious or whether he meant it literally, the statement carried weight because of his first-hand experience facing both men in their primes. The discussion around Canelo's future picked up steam as well. Some speculated that he might consider retirement after such a decisive defeat. Others, however, pointed to his resilient words and concluded that Canelo was not ready to leave just yet. Still, analysts suggested that his aura of invincibility had cracked, and the spotlight in boxing was now firmly on Crawford. Andre Ward, retired champion and one of the most respected voices in boxing, gave Crawford's performance the ultimate compliment. He described it as a generational fight, one that would be remembered for decades. Ward stressed that these are the nights that define careers and separate great fighters from legends. He called the victory historic, explaining that Crawford's ability to dismantle Canelo while staying disciplined proved his place among the all-time greats. Ward even framed it as a GOAT moment, suggesting that Crawford could be considered the greatest fighter of his generation. Keyshawn Davis, a rising star who looks up to Crawford as both a mentor and role model, expressed pure excitement after the fight. He praised Crawford's speed, footwork, and composure, pointing out that Canelo simply could not keep up. For Davis, this win was more than just a personal achievement for Crawford. It was a message to the boxing world that greatness comes from intelligence, skill, and hard work. Davis did not hesitate to call Crawford one of the greatest of all time, even saying that Bud deserved a spot on boxing's Mount Rushmore. Former heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis analyzed the fight with brutal honesty. He questioned how any judge could have given Canelo as many as 5 rounds, insisting that Crawford clearly dominated. Lewis noted that Canelo has always had trouble with fighters who move well, and once again, Crawford's agility was the difference. Lewis admitted he had hoped for more explosive exchanges from Canelo, but ultimately, he admired the technical brilliance of Crawford's performance. For him, it was a reminder that boxing is about more than power, it is about adaptability and intelligence. Roy Jones Jr., another legendary fighter known for his skill and creativity, echoed those sentiments. He praised Crawford's victory as a beautiful performance, saying it combined patience, strategy, and skill. Jones emphasized that Canelo has historically struggled against fighters who rely on speed and movement, and Crawford exposed that vulnerability once again. For Jones, the performance was not just dominant, it was technically brilliant. He explained that Crawford studied film carefully, knew exactly when to fight, when to move, and how to frustrate Canelo. In his eyes, this was the night that put Crawford among the all-time greats. Other voices in the boxing world also weighed in. Many pointed to the fact that Crawford had been inactive for over a year and had undergone shoulder surgery earlier in the year. Yet he stepped into the ring 2 weight classes higher and delivered a flawless performance. Analysts stressed that this added to the magnitude of his victory. They also highlighted Crawford's versatility. He can fight on the inside, outside, or mid-range, while Canelo tends to stick to one consistent style. This adaptability allowed Crawford to take away all of Canelo's weapons and leave him without answers. Andre Ward, Lennox Lewis, Roy Jones Jr., Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Teddy Atlas, and others all agreed on one central point. Terence Crawford had just cemented his place in boxing history. Whether fans debated if he was greater than Mayweather, whether Canelo was truly in decline, or whether the fight should lead to a rematch, the consensus was that Crawford's performance was extraordinary. Even the younger generation of fighters saw it as a defining night. Keyshawn Davis called Crawford the face of boxing, saying that three-time undisputed champions who beat Canelo Alvarez are automatically considered among the greatest of all time. His excitement reflected how deeply Crawford's win inspired those who aspire to follow in his footsteps. As for Canelo, opinions remain divided. Some believe he is still strong, motivated, and far from finished. Others think his time at the very top has ended, especially given his struggles against boxers who can move, counter, and frustrate him. Yet no one can deny the impact of his words when he praised Crawford as better than Mayweather. That alone has fueled countless debates and will continue to shape how fans compare fighters across eras. In the end, what happened that night was more than just Crawford defeating Canelo. It was a reminder of what makes boxing special: intelligence, adaptability, heart, and the ability to defy expectations. Crawford not only won a fight, he elevated himself into the rare category of fighters whose victories become part of boxing's permanent history. For Canelo, the loss may have closed one chapter, but it also gave him the chance to show humility, resilience, and the mindset of a true competitor. And for fans, it sparked conversations that will not end anytime soon about legacy, greatness, and what it really means to be the best.